Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Terry Morrow.
And I'm Catherine Haleko.
As parents and parenting writers, we can't help but see everything through a parenting lens. But as our kids have become adults, we find ourselves more interested in getting caught up on movies and streaming than on going over the same parenting topics over and over.
So since we're pretty sure we can find parenting wisdom anywhere, we're going to talk about what we're watching, what we thought about it, and maybe what we can learn from it, if only what not to do. Watch and listen along, and let's all make like we're doing something important for our families.
Each Wednesday, we bring you a watch or rewatch of an older entertainment property, and for this week of July 15th, we are continuing with the pilot of Lost. We'll be talking about Part 2, the part where they go on a walk to the highest place in the island, and they encounter a polar bear, and then they find out that somebody's been broadcasting for rescue for 16 years and nothing has happened. So, as Charlie says ominously at the end, guys, where are we? Mm-hmm. Where are we? We are in a very enjoyable TV series that is just throwing stuff at the screen with abandon.
That's right. A lot happens in 43 minutes or whatever it is.
And there are, oh my goodness, so many characters.
Yes.
And each of them has to have a little moment. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was all done fairly graciously. I know these people at this point since I watched it. You do not. But there's a lot of, oh yeah, that guy. Mm-hmm. And, knowing a lot more about them than they are getting the merest of sketches right now. I mean, Sawyer is being painted as such a bad guy. And, Sun and Jin have their thing, and her little unbuttoning of her sweater once he walks away is just a little delightful character note. And he seems very controlling and awful.
Yes.
And we learn about Michael and Walt, that Walt's mother died and his dad has now come to take him, but that did not work out so well because they are crashed on an island somewhere. Who the heck knows? However, it does appear that his dog survived the crash.
But I did enjoy Terry O'Quinn.
Yes.
Upon hearing that Walt's mother has just died, says, "You're having a bad month."
I love that. There's going to be sort of a Count Nina thing going on between the two of them.
Yeah,
which is lovely. But, Locke telling it like it is. I don't think we've ever gotten the name of Terry O'Quinn's character said by anybody yet, but his name is Locke, his character's name. And
he needs someone to play backgammon with, and Walt needs something to do, so...
He does indeed.
Here we are.
But the dog, aforementioned dog that we discussed last week is in fact Walt's dog, Vincent.
Right.
And we assume they will soon be reunited now that Michael knows that the dog is A, alive, and B, in a certain part of the jungle, and C, that he could get him and maybe look good in his son's eyes, because so far, not looking so good.
Right.
So, but yeah, man, that kid. Wow. Poor Walt.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
That's been rough.
And we get a little sketch of Shannon as basically insufferable princess.
But at least she kind of speaks French.
She kind of speaks French. So parents, see how important it is to have your child study a foreign language? You never know when it will come in handy. I hope she's not speaking French like I speak French, in which case there would be about a 70% chance that she was translating it wrong. But she's got to be good for something, surely.
Right.
Other than just, sunbathing nearly naked for all the guys to enjoy.
Well, by my estimation, her French was reasonable.
Okay. You could hear it enough to know that that's what
it was hard to hear, for sure. Mm-hmm. But it did sound like that's what...
Okay. Good. Good for you, Shannon. Be good for something, babe.
You spent a year in Paris. And she's like, yeah, not going to class.
Yeah, we can relate. But we'll find a little bit, we've got a flashback of Charlie and what he was retrieving from the bathroom when they went and found the pilot.
Right.
And a little flashback of Kate to find out that she is a fugitive.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it seemed so very much more likely that the handcuffs that Michael and Walt found in the jungle had previously been confining either Sawyer or Saeed, in fact, it was Kate. Sweet little Kate.
It was a nice detail that she put the oxygen mask on her captor while the plane was going down and he was knocked out.
Yes, she thought about it for a second, but then she did it.
She actually did it.
After having removed the key to her handcuffs from his pocket.
She may regret having done that.
I don't know. He doesn't look too good.
No, he doesn't.
And also, we got a little more of the adorable Hurley, one of my favorite characters, Jorge Garcia, as Hurley, who's just really, to a large degree, providing comic relief. And God bless him.
Yes. He's there supposedly helping Jack with the surgery, and then just... The sight of blood, not for him. Yep. Not for him.
I don't know. I think I could handle the sight of the blood, but the sight of a piece of metal being taken out of somebody's body and blood spurting out afterwards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Yeah, and on their way climbing, they find, and Sawyer shoots, a polar bear.
The polar bear, yes.
In the jungle. Because why not? You know what? We're throwing stuff at the screen. I know.
It's funny because I remember hearing that about this show, that there's like randomly a polar bear in the jungle. I thought I didn't realize it was going to be in episode 2. I thought it was going to be much later in the game.
Yeah. One of the most fun things about this show, when watching it the first time, when everybody was watching it the first time, is that people were into the mystery of it, and they were writing about it. There was, I think, a guy named Doc Jensen, who I think wrote for Entertainment Weekly, had a whole column that he would every week go into the mythology of all this stuff and explain what this meant, explain what that meant. Mm-hmm. And like the Extra Hot Great forum was full of stuff with people coming up with really fantastic fiction about what was going on,
right?
Whether any of it was related to what the creators had in mind, I don't know, but it was certainly fun to read.
Yeah.
And the polar bear was one of those. There were lots of theories about the polar bear and how the polar bear got there and what the polar bear meant. And I don't think any of it came to fruition. I think it was just a WTF thing that the creators would really like us to have forgotten about afterwards.
Right.
But it was really delightful. All the stuff that people wrote, all the creativity that this show unleashed, ultimately perhaps to no effect.
Right.
But the joy I got from reading it was real. And I think that many people felt the same way. So, and things like, things coming up. Lots of things. There are so many things. But I think that Michael in this episode gave us lots of lessons on how not to parent. Like, I know you're new to this guy. I know you're just parenting now that your ex has passed, but know your kid's age would be good.
Right.
It's just one figure. It's not hard.
Right.
It's probably written down somewhere. And when your child is mourning a lost pet, I'll get you a new dog.
I'll get you a new dog. Yeah. Walt didn't take that very well.
Really, Locke's "you're having a bad month" is pretty much the best parenting we saw for that kid.
Yep.
Acknowledge their feelings. That was not good, man. Yeah. Pick up here.
I mean, yes, he's been through some trauma, and he is new at this, like you said, but
yes,
he needs to get it together pretty quick.
Yeah. There was, I forget how much Walt there was in these early episodes. He was really in quite a bit of this, that kid.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to remember, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but that young actor was very good in this episode, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wound up being indicative of the difficulty of hiring child actors for shows that are going to go on for a while.
Yeah.
Because they hit a growth streak in real life. And if your show is not observing the same time constraints of real life,
right,
and you expect them to come back the next season being the same age and size, it's a miracle of the island. Children age faster. Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
But as of now, he's really very, very good and very moving. So, and Claire is still pregnant, and there's lots of people. There's lots of people.
Yes, lots. Claire's still pregnant, and apparently the baby is coming back around. I don't know. Yeah. She was very worried about not feeling the baby.
Are pregnant women supposed to eat shellfish? Is that like a thing that I heard, or is that not?
They're not supposed to eat sushi, like raw fish.
Well, right? I don't think Jin had a hibachi out there.
Had a little barbecue. No, maybe that was the baby just going like, hey, stop it. I don't like that.
What the heck is this?
Yeah, but I don't think Claire's going to take it that way.
No. Oh, my. So, that is the pilot of Lost. Ends with mysterious transmissions, with mysterious creatures, heck of a lot of screwed up people.
Yes.
Possible felons amongst us. And
although, of course, we were given to believe that, this marshal who was transporting Kate seemed to be a very bad person, and implied that no one was going to believe her.
Yeah,
when she.
But of course we do, because we already like her.
Right, we already
liked her when we found out this information. So
that's right.
On the other hand, boy, did they go out of their way to make Sawyer look like a SOB, didn't they? He just, no shading on that role at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of soulful looks, maybe. But, they were setting him up as the enemy. So.
And I know they're all very different, but at the moment, the Sawyer and then the Australian drug Charlie, right?
Charlie, yeah.
And then there's Boone, right? Is the lifeguard / stepbrother, whatever.
Yes.
So those three are a little bit hard for me to tell apart right now. These three, young white guys that are supposed to be attractive, which they are. I'm not saying they're not. But,
yes. Well, one of them has a British accent, one of them has brown hair, and one of them has a lot of stubble. So.
Yeah. I'll get there. It just takes me a few minutes.
It is definitely one of those shows where you're like, now is that the guy? Which guy is that? Who's that? That's why it helps to have distinguishing characteristics.
Yes.
So you definitely know Saeed is Saeed, and you definitely know Michael is Michael, and Jin is the guy out there speaking Korean.
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell them apart. Jack is our hero, as he has even been called.
Right.
So the rest of them will, over these many, 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 many weeks, differentiate themselves.
Yeah. Are we going to meet all 48 of them?
Some of them, there was, we'll get to it. But yes, there are a lot of characters we're being directed to pay attention to. And then there are people who will just exist to be killed by creatures.
Right.
It's like, there's just the fodder. But anyway, that is the beginning of Lost. Now, you said this made you less sick.
Much less, yeah.
Excellent. Except for the flashbacks of the plane falling apart, I assume.
Right. But I was even able to take quick glances at that, and there was just a little bit of running in the jungle, and then everything else was pretty good. So.
Good. Well, Don't eat any shellfish somebody has just picked off the beach of Mysterious Island, and you should be just fine.
Right.
What could go wrong? I'm with Hurley in that.
Right.
I'm starving, but I'm not that desperate.
I'm not eating that. Whatever it is.
Yeah, they just kind of took those two characters and said, we're going to do something with Jin and Sun. We don't know quite what yet, so we're just going to have them off in a corner not speaking English.
Right.
We'll get there. Well, next Wednesday, we will continue with Season 1, Episode 3 of Lost, which is Tabula Rasa. We will see you back here tomorrow for our weekly Roundup. Thank you for listening. You can find all our episodes on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com.
You can also talk to us on our Facebook page, on Instagram, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And please visit our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/mamatude, where you can find links to a lot of the things we've talked about over the years.